Hey everyone, welcome to Smash Trivia. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram by searching Smash Trivia to follow everything happening with me. I'll be the one with the big old green head in the profile picture. So excited to get into this. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, in this series, I'm going to review everything Hulk, all the movies, TV shows, and I also do random other geeky films. Occasionally, not so geeky ones too. And I also like to mix things up once in a while by not reviewing anything. Hope you enjoy Smash Trivia Presents The Gamma Analysis. I want to ask everyone listening if they can please do something for me. Please share the hell out of this podcast with all your friends. If you don't, Hulk will be angry. And Smash Trivia has a Patreon too, so please check that out. We have some fantastic extra content on there. I bet you'll have a Hulk smashing good time. The tiers are as follows: $1 a month is Hulkaholic for $1, $3 a month is the Reading Room with Hulky and Shulky, and $5 a month is Smashing the TV. I also now offer custom trivia games on Fiverr, so if you want to take your game night to the next level, you can hire me. A link to the Fiverr is in the episode description. Now that we have all that important stuff out of the way, let's smash right into this episode. Hello, my Gamma friends, and today I'm joined by Clayton from the Men Who Like Movies podcast to review Anna and the Apocalypse. How you doing, Clayton?
I'm doing wonderful. This movie puts me in such a good mood. I'm glad you suggested it.
Yeah, this film is oh man. Ever since I first found out about this film, when like just watching random trailers on ours on YouTube like 8 years ago or so, I've just fallen in love from since then. I'm like, as soon as I could after the film came out, I watched it and I was just amazed by it because it's such a wacky film and not something you would expect out of a Christmas film at all.
This is wonderful. I watch this every single Christmas, at least once.
Uh,
Probably gonna get in 3 watches this month, but yeah, I watch this a few times a year.
yeah,
I cracked up and you're like, have you ever heard of this? And I was like, yes. Just since I've had
yeah.
Letterboxd, which has not been a long time. I was like, I've logged this like 6 or 7 times. I covered it on my podcast, Our First Christmas. Like, I fucking love this movie. I'm always happy to do my
Oh,
part to let other people know about this movie
yeah.
because it's a stone cold
You are
Christmas
the
classic.
you are the first person I've ever told about this movie that knew what I was talking about. Like I've never heard of anybody else where they actually knew of this film. This is a very niche film.
Yeah, hopefully getting less niche. Like I said,
Hopefully,
I was
yeah.
telling you the other day off mic that it's showing in a theater near me
Nice.
in about exactly a week from now, actually. So I'm gonna get to see this on the
That's
big screen, and
that would be
that's not
awesome.
something I ever thought was gonna happen for a movie
Yeah.
like Anna and the Apocalypse.
Yeah. Real quick before we get too much into this, as always, it's for our alcohol for $1. We have Derek Sager, Gabriel Floral, and Film Critter. All right, so yeah, this as I told you when I asked you to come on, like I immediately thought of you for this film because you were able to handle the wackiness of Dave Made a Maze is, and this is along that same way of it's just unlike anything else you'll ever watch.
Yeah, it is unique.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, it's so much fun. On like these songs in it are so catchy. Actually, I think my favorites are Hollywood Ending and Soldier at War. Those are so good.
A Soldier at War is so funny. My favorite song is Turning My Life Around. I love it so much.
Nice.
Closely followed by what I like to call the naughty song, or It's That
Oh,
Time of Year, I think is extremely
I
funny.
love that.
But yeah, there's only one song in this entire soundtrack that I don't love, and I typically skip. Uh, You can take a wild guess at which one that is.
I'm gonna say probably the villains one at the end, maybe.
Yes, it's so awful. I mean, I love that he commits to the bit, but it
Yeah.
just is not for me. It throws me off. It sounds completely different than anything else this movie has going on. But yeah,
Yeah, it's oh, and the villain. He's so he's so interested in me because he's like, yeah, he's a bad guy, but there are different moments in the film where I'm like, could have not been like, well, he was right about, like, they do need to talk about health and safety when if you're doing a play. I was in like first time I watched this when is when we have the moment where he's like, "This is my school" or something. I was thinking that when I first watched this, I thought this meant he was about to try and defend the school. He was going to turn around, just like do something good for once. No, he just went off the rails.
yeah, he's just full evil,
Oh
which I
yeah.
really appreciate. And it's so funny because this was like during the height of Game of Thrones, and he was not like the a main character in Game of Thrones, but like one of the big characters.
Mhm.
And he's so nice in that. And the fact that he just like went and made this movie during that, I just really love that and appreciate that he is cool like that. So,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
in that movie, he was also killed by zombies, albeit it was a zombie bear, but I just think that's funny.
Uh, um, one thing I'm really quick. So you told me that you're going to be going on someone else's podcast as well to do this year. Here I was thinking, we could give them a shout out so if people can also listen to their episode if it
I'm
would
not
want.
100% sure they are probably doing it, but I'm not 100% sure they're doing
Okay.
that in December yet. Uh, so I don't know if that's finalized, but we can still shout it out anyway.
Yeah,
If you want
absolutely.
to check out the Drafty Quarters podcast in December
All right.
and see if there's Nana in the Apocalypse episode. If there is, I'll be
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check them out over there. And hopefully there is one. I this is a film that I definitely, just like you, I want to try and get as many people to see it as possible. Same way where I was like, where I'm like, I want to get as many people to see films like this or Dave Made a Maze or Howard the Duck as possible.
I refuse. I'm glad you love it, but I just some movies, you just know they're not for you. That's one of those for me. Sorry.
It's all right. That's all right. You know, earlier today, there was funny thing, anything that happened. So, has everyone got today their Spotify Wrapped thing?
Mhm.
And I was checking out the one for my podcast, and you know, I was I got really excited when I saw that because it said on there that my top episode for the year was the last one I did with you and your co-host with for the Bodies one. And I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
that's a great coincidence on the day I'm going to be recording with you. I went back though and looked actually at the amount of viewers on each episode, and that episode has less than half the amount of viewers of my top episode for the year. I don't know what a Spotify rap was thinking.
I don't know.
But
Maybe
I
that's
just like
just like what it's listened to on Spotify
I don't know it.
rather
I
than
just
like
find that
across all
really
the platforms, because that could be.
maybe. But I just found it really funny that it told me that today. And it just happened to be the same day I would be recording with you.
Meant to be.
Yeah. Man. So with this film, who do you think was your favorite character?
Stephanie. Stephanie's my favorite. Uh
Is Stephanie the white haired girl?
yes. The moment that made me just she is my favorite is
Oh
just
yeah.
because when they're like playing fuck Mary Kill and she immediately just says, "Kill them all, they're zombies." It just cemented her in
I
my heart forever.
yeah, I agree. She's definitely my favorite. What really made me love her is how the first time kills a zombie, she does a little dance right afterwards. She's so happy with herself that she just killed a zombie.
She'd feel badass as fuck. You just killed a
Yeah,
zombie.
like that was so, like that was so cute. I loved that.
This movie is nothing if not extremely relatable.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about how this film portrays how people would actually act in a situation like this. Like, this came out a few years before COVID, and it's really funny how accurate it was about the hoarding that happened.
Oh my God.
Uh,
It's so funny watching because I saw this before COVID
mhm.
started, but watching it like post COVID is just like, that
Yeah, it hits different now. Watching it versus when we watched it before there. And they show how yeah how people take selfies with zombies. And I'm like, I honestly do feel
150% would
like that would
happen.
happen. Yeah, like this might be the most accurate thing of how something like this would actually go down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Uh, and you would have someone who is so in tune into their world that they come out of the house, everything's on fire, and they just keep walking. They don't notice that things are going on.
She's singing her song, man. She's got her big
Yeah.
song.
Oh yeah.
Can't pay attention to silly little things like the world turning to shit around you.
Yeah.
I love that sequence. That's my favorite sequence in the
It's
movie.
so good.
It's just a wonderful. Her shimmying and just people falling out of windows, the baby getting eaten behind her, just glorious. It's like Shaun of the
It's
Dead
so
meets
oh yeah.
Dawn of the Dead remake, but like having somebody sing about how they're just turning their life around. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
10 out of 10, no notes.
Oh yeah. Right after that scene, and I really enjoyed how um so we get the scene of them fighting a zombie that's in a snowman costume. They decapitate it with a seesaw, and then as they're talking about it afterwards, the camera pans over to the zombie's head. And he's just like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." I just found that so funny.
It's wonderful. And the scream John lets out is just chef's
Oh yeah.
kiss. Amazing. Just wonderful. Absolutely gold. I can't
Uh,
recommend this movie enough. Like,
yeah,
I've been in a huge funk. This is the first Christmas. Oh, yeah, this is the first Christmas movie I watched this year. And
same.
wonderful start to Christmas season. And I was all bummed out. And then I turned this movie on and I was like, oh yeah, this is just what I needed.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It really is side where on paper this would never work.
It shouldn't work.
But
It
as
shouldn't
a
work at all.
everything about this, it does. You know, but you know, I was thinking about this compared to like some other Christmas movies, or well, debatable Christmas movies of like I so Christmas, even though it is this is where it's set. Christmas actually doesn't play a massive part of the film. In but I would honestly argue something like this is much more Christmas film than say something like Die Hard. Even though
Yeah.
I don't mind people
But they both
thinking
are
Die
really
Hard.
just set at Christmas time.
Yeah,
Christmas doesn't play into it at all,
like
other than like, they're putting on a Christmas show. But, it
like
gives you all the fun sets and lights, and she can kill zombies with a candy cane. And
oh yeah, but yeah, I think even though like I don't mind people thinking of something like Die Hard as a Christmas film, I think it's interesting to compare these because they are they that it just being said Christmas is the same between them, but for some reason this I would very much think of it more as a Christmas film than I would think of Die Hard as a Christmas film.
Yeah, it's much more in your face that it is happening at
Hmm.
Christmas time than Die Hard
Yeah,
is. Although I will 100%, I'm on the Die Hard as a Christmas
yeah,
film
I'm
team.
I'm absolutely fine with that. To be honest, I've never seen the whole film of Die Hard.
Oh my God,
I've
it's so
seen
good.
it's I don't know what was going on with my childhood, but I saw both Live Free or Die Hard and A Good Day to Die Hard, but I did not watch the previous films before that. I
One of
don't
those
know what
two,
was
and I can't remember, is very bad, and it is the only bad Die Hard movie. I can't remember which is which, but
I I
overall, it's a
remember.
pretty great franchise.
Yeah, so I've never actually watched the whole of the original. I've watched part of it. Um, I remember. So and I want to watch the rest of it at some point, but I just haven't got around to it. Like
It's the perfect
how
month
I
to do it. It is
how
Christmas time.
I watched part of it was uh when I was younger. I went to a Catholic teens group, and for some odd reason, our leader decided to let us watch Die Hard, and but as soon as a pair of tits came on screen, he was like, "Nope, we have to turn it off." Like, you've seen this movie before, dude. Why are you surprised? You should have
You know,
expected that and just
I
said
can watch
we're
a
not
movie a
watching
million
it.
times
And
and not think about it, and then you turn it on to watch with your parents, and then you're just like, oh, that's probably
yeah,
just one of those situations.
maybe because I was like really funny. Like he was we got like I think it was like halfway through the film or something, and and he was just like all of a sudden like nope, we gotta turn it off.
So
Like
basically, what you're saying is he reacted like the crowd when she said, "So come on over and unload your sack" in her song about Santa.
God, oh man, it was really funny. That was such a funny scene, and like it's so there are old guys in the audience who you could tell they were really enjoying that. Is like, oh god.
Yeah, I love the reaction shots, and then her boyfriend's
Uh,
grandma being all supportive and just gonna. It's just so many things are going on in that scene, and just
and it's so
wonderful.
funny when all of a sudden the village just like he's like, I'm gonna kill her, and so it's so it's walking off from the whatever the room was that he was in, and I don't know what that room was supposed to be, but oh, it's like oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah, it
Oh
makes me
man,
like genuinely laugh out loud every single time.
yeah. And like I I'm guessing that so I'm guessing he did when he opened up the door. I'm guessing he did figure out the zombies, and that's the reason why the next morning, everybody who was at school is still there. And he just decided to lock everyone in.
I think there was something that we didn't see where they found out that shit was breaking out, and so they just stayed there because when he opens the door, the zombie's gone.
Mm-hmm.
There's just like blood there and stuff. But I think it broke out quickly enough that they just knew and stayed before the night was over.
All that, but let's see. You know, I was thinking, as I was thinking about what while watching both times I watched it this week. Why do you think that I think that the villain has a particular um
Hatred of janitors.
hate for or both yeah the dad and our main character like he hates everyone, but he particularly hates them. I'm wondering if it's because she didn't join up in his play.
No, I think he just doesn't like it when people are happy, and he's very lonely, and
Hmm. I can see
Also,
that.
she's the main character, so
Yeah, yeah,
just
it's obvious the main character thing. I was just trying to think of a particular reason within universe why he's so intent to be against her. Um, uh,
and it might be that he can't pick on her as much openly because her dad's there working.
mhm. Yeah, beginning of the film when he takes the keys from Stephanie, I was like, I found that so strange because like maybe things work differently where this is set, but
Small town Scotland.
I don't think you're that parking your car in the school parking lot when you go to that school means the school owns your car.
Not like
I,
owns, but yeah, there are schools and stuff that you can't like park on it. Like it's really weird about parking. So I think it's just one of those schools. I don't think it has anything to do with it being in Scotland per se. I just
uh,
think it's one
that
of those
just
places that
seems
has weird rules.
strange. Yeah, it was just like I I feel like he's trying to like manipulate her to give her the key, giving him the keys, even though that's not actually the rules of the school.
Yeah, I mean, he runs the place and he picks on her a lot because she's American, so she doesn't put up with shit.
Oh man. Oh, hey, I think as the film goes on maybe the best character development in the film might be with the guy who was the bully at the beginning.
Nick, I
Um,
mean, Nick, he
yeah.
sucks, but you do kind of engender a little bit of sympathy
Mhm.
towards him by the end.
Like I feel like he broke down his walls when his friends died. And that was the turning point for him becoming decent.
Yeah, but I feel like you just shouldn't have to go through that to become decent.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sadly. Yeah, it's
beautiful
sad.
singing voice though. And
Oh
we
yeah.
all love a bad boy.
Yeah. The I as I said before, like Soldier at War is one of my favorites of the songs that like I hate though that at the beginning of it, he pulls this sexist bull crap of being like, "Stand back, ladies." Like, if we didn't have that, it would just be a perfect song.
I don't know. I I wouldn't change a thing about it. I think it's so funny. The whole entire like ball pit through the end of Soldier at War, I think is just comedy gold beginning to
Oh
end.
man,
The
yeah.
old lady zombie sitting on Stephanie's head, and she's just like, and Anna's just like, it's
Oh, that's
fine, you're
so good.
fine. And she's like, is it pissing on me? She's like, it's fine.
Yeah,
There's
it's so
plastic.
good.
It's warm plastic is hysterical. And then the whole
Oh
Soldier at
yeah.
War, like the one that has the melons and busts the zombie and like slow motion sprays melon up on him and just like then he's pouring water. It's hysterical. It is
Oh yeah.
absolutely so funny. It's so ridiculous. A guy is fighting with like a PlayStation controller. They're just basically being a zombie killing boy band, and everybody else is just like
Yeah.
whatever. We don't even care. It's just
Oh yeah.
it's douchey. It's funny. He's got a lovely voice. It's a catchy song.
Um,
It's great few minutes of film
oh yeah.
between going out in the
You
ball
know,
pit through the end of Soldier at War.
you we've gone on through pretty much everything from the gay film, but one particular thing that I do think is what I mentioned that I found or actually two things, um, both at the before or they found out about the zombie apocalypse at the bowling alley. The like I love the joke of Christmas is my I probably my least favorite favorite it's C word and but you look like a really big C word in that outfit.
I love his fucking light up sweater so much.
Yeah, it's so
Also,
good.
the C word should totally be used more. And there's another point. She's like shit wank, and I feel like shit wank should just become more
uh,
of a thing.
and the other thing from that scene that I love is how they threw the shoe and hit their boss in the head, knocking her out. Like, damn,
Just
yeah, that was great.
wonderful.
Hmm.
I love John so much. He's so precious.
Oh yeah, it's I love and this isn't even from a funny sample. Like, well, a lot of stuff with this film is just so funny, but it's so cute. The scene where John and the main character are talking to each other while each other are in a shopping cart. Like that was
I
really
love that
cute.
scene so much, and my heart breaks for him because unrequited love is hard, and I totally buy them as being absolute best friends in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so cute. I love that scene. It just touches my heart and makes me sad. And this movie just
And
gives you all the feels you want in a Christmas movie, which is,
yeah,
yeah, this movie makes me laugh. It makes me cry. And I've seen it a million times and it still does it.
yeah, it's one of those films where it does not get worse at all on rewatch. It just keeps staying
If anything, I think
amazing.
it just improves.
Oh yeah, it um well I don't think that that things are as black and white as what they're saying with the song of the Hollywood ending. I do think it's interesting how they did make sure that basically all of the characters in the film did not get a Hollywood ending.
Well, I mean, there's no such thing as a Hollywood ending.
Yeah,
They told us that right
I
at the
like that.
beginning.
Yeah, like I like that follow through that foreshadowment from the beginning of like they're like this is gonna be very real, real. They're like he's John's not gonna get the girl. The two who are a couple, they're gonna turn into zombies. Is and happily your main character did not get back with Nick at the end of the film.
Yeah.
Like that, I
It's
thought
the
that was
most
cool.
random, like, three people. I think it's so weird every single time. Like, I would not guessed at all the first time that they are the three that survive.
Yeah. Um. You know, I love how we have. This is a film that has both gay and lesbian characters, and it's normal. It's not made a bit. They don't make a big deal out of it. They're just characters in the film.
Yeah,
Like that's
as
like
it
I
should be.
appreciate it. Yeah, that's how exactly
I
how it
fucking
should
love this
be.
movie.
It's um
And
honestly
it doesn't
really
just kill the
impressive
gays.
film.
The lesbian gets to survive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's good. I hope that her girlfriend is still alive. I have to and that they are
Her
able to go
girlfriend was
find
being
her.
kind of a bitch to her though, so
Yeah, yeah, kinda. um, I think what else needs to should be talked about with this film? It was
uh
really beautiful. The John's sacrifice. That was really
oh my
cool.
god, I can't. I cry. Oh,
Uh,
that just like every single time, like I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry. And then he puts out his hand and I immediately just start tearing up. The looks they exchange with each other
mhm.
are so heartbreaking. And watching him get torn apart and just how angry she is, it's
Yeah,
just really upsetting.
yeah, very beautiful. It's
It is beautiful, but
upsetting.
I hate it
He,
every single time. I hope he makes it. I want him to
mhm.
make it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, back to these is funny. I at the end, having the foreshadowed way for the villain to die of the star hitting him was just perfect.
It truly is. I Watching him get ripped apart is extremely satisfying.
Oh yeah.
I love that he's just so wacky. I mean, he completely commits in this role when he's going
Yeah.
across the back of the stage, doing like high kicks and just wonderful. I love when he gets knocked
Oh
down there. I wish her dad could have lived. That's really sad.
yeah.
When Chris and Lisa get bit and they're just looking at each other and knowing
Hmm.
there's a lot of really meaningful looks in the back half of this movie, and they all just
Yeah.
really get me. These actors, I hope they all go on to do great things because they're honestly extremely talented. I feel
Oh
again,
yeah.
this movie shouldn't work. And its characters,
Yeah.
I know it's short. It's got a decent amount of main characters, and it's like 90 minutes in and out, and you really care about all of them.
Oh yeah. It's um the I love that at the very very end, the last shot of the film is a Santa zombie jump scare.
I hate it so much. I that is the if I could change anything about the movie, I would take that shot out. It's ridiculous. Ugh, whatever. It's fine. I
Oh
love this
man.
movie enough for that to not bother me. I
And
do want
the
to shout out one other really funny moment
oh yeah, sure.
when they're speculating on what celebrities have been turned into
Oh
zombies, and one of
yeah.
them brings up Taylor Swift. He's like, Tay Tay's fine. Like, why would you even put that out into the universe? I find so funny.
Yeah. And like when you just hear in the background on was it Chris is saying Justin Bieber's a zombie. Oh man. Oh, and they're trying to figure out like a whether Robert Downey Jr. would be a zombie, and it's so funny. Because of the fact that this came out before or Avengers Endgame. I think it adds to the joke with they're like Iron Man lives. It's like, well, not anymore.
Yeah. Oh well. Spoilers for the MCU, everyone.
Oh man, I um I love that. I love that they all slept in the ball pit. Like, I,
Which
I
would be
feel like
horribly
that.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I feel like that wouldn't actually be comfortable in real life.
But it gives us the great gag of Stephanie putting her arm out when you're like, oh, are they a zombie? And
Mhm.
yeah. And then
And,
of course they used the ball pit for that incredibly funny sequence with
um,
the elderly zombies.
I think though my favorite probably ollie sequence in the whole film has them fighting zombies in the bowling alley because they had some really funny kills there. Like John just hits two bowling balls into one's head, and or when they send one down the line to
And
get
then
his head
promptly
chopped
pukes.
off. like Stephanie's Effie, um both her using a spatula on one on and then and her setting one to get his head chopped off, and then the head coming rolling back as if it were a bowling ball. It's just so perfect.
Just wonderful. Again, Stephanie in this scene, I fucking love when when the
Oh
zombie
yeah.
puts its hands on her on her titties, and she's just like,
How
she looks
dare
just so
you?
insulted, and it's like he's dead. He's not being, but it's just so funny. I love Stephanie.
Oh
Stephanie's the bomb.
yeah. When I get to the school and and immediately the villain, he's just sitting there by the door. They ask him, what are you doing? It's like, I'm eating my Christmas dinner.
Which looked really sad. He was like having a sandwich. Uh, it's great. I I
Oh
really
yeah.
love it a lot. I'm so glad you picked it.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy it from beginning to end. Even the principal song, which I don't
Mhm.
love like on the soundtrack. In the movie, I enjoy it in the moment. It's not super
Mhm.
long. I love all the characters dearly, even the ones that are flawed for their flaws. I think they're all very funny in their own
Oh
ways.
yeah.
It's so moving. Like this is a Christmas
You
staple. Like
know, Which character would you say is probably had the most surprising singing voice? I think the dad's singing voice was it's really surprising.
Oh, okay. So speaking of the dad singing voice, which cut of Anna and the Apocalypse did you watch?
I didn't know there was multiple cuts.
There's like three different cuts of it.
what I watched was on a not perfectly legal site, so I don't know what it was.
So there's a version that's 93 minutes, which is the one that I watched, and I think it's the best cut. There's like a festival cut that was how it was shown in festivals. I think it's on like Shutter. It's like 108 minutes. And normally I would love more content, but it aside from one change, I think the 93-minute cut is the best. And then there's like one other cut, I can't remember how long it is, but like you mentioned the dad singing, he doesn't sing in like the 93-minute cut.
Oh,
So that's when I was like,
so
ooh, you watched one of the other cuts.
so what I watched, the actual film part, I think was 93 minutes, but it was technically 97 minutes. It's with credits.
Oh yeah, mine's 93 minutes with credits. So you didn't watch the
You did so
yeah,
you
so
didn't
you
get
watched
any.
the third version.
Yeah, it's
So did
that
yours start
surprises
out
me.
with animated opening credits?
I don't think it started out with anime opening credits, but it had some animated credits at the end.
Yeah. Mine also had them at the end. The international cut has those at the beginning, which is the only thing I think that version does, right? But yeah, there's three different versions of this
Uh,
movie that are out there to watch.
I kind of want to see the 107 minute long one. I feel like that would be interesting getting some of those extra scenes. And oh yeah,
You know,
I
honestly, it's not great. The
okay.
shorter versions are much better.
It surprises me that that the one that you watched didn't have the dad singing at all. Because like that he had some decently emotional scenes with
So the main, I
he
do
was
think he
singing.
sang earlier in the movie a tiny, tiny bit, but like her end thing that when she's like after he's been bit and stuff, I think the version you watched, her he sings during that song.
Yeah, he sings during that song, and I
He
think
does not in the 93-minute version.
he also also sings during the song about out needing a human voice. Oh,
Yes,
it's in the
I
rose.
think that's in my version as well. But when I think of him singing like where he actually gets to sing more than like a line, it's in that last song and it's
Oh,
not in the shorter version, which I think is better because I think it
oh,
slows down the pacing a little bit.
okay.
Uh
Oh,
again, like I've
yeah,
watched all three versions of it and
like I just made and it was like I wanted to point out his singing voice because
he has a
it
beautiful singing
surprised
voice.
me. Yeah, it I like I didn't expect that character to have that good of singing voice.
The one that surprised me, and I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, is Stephanie. The voice that comes out of that tiny little girl is not what I was expecting. It is so powerful. It's so good. And that is one of the other things I'm like, I wish we
Um,
had more of that. And
I, when she's singing during the I need a human voice song, like it's very noticeable that she is even more or um putting all of her acting ability into it than everyone else. Everyone else is just standing still as they're singing in that lineup scene versus she is like actually doing a pose while she's singing.
yeah.
Oh man. Is there anything else we should talk about with this film?
We could talk about how badass the candy cane is.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that was great.
I hadn't even mentioned the candy cane, a final girl weapon. Great stuff. I love it. It's
Yeah,
iconic.
the I love that she uses both sides of the candy cane and different points to fight with.
Yeah. It's very practical for
Yeah.
zombie killing. I love how
Uh
gory it is. It's very bloody. It juggles so many tones. Like It's
Mhm.
romantic, it's funny, it's heartbreaking, it's heartwarming, it's
Yeah.
bloody as shit, it's mean. It kills some of these main characters. It's very sad. Like I mentioned before, like it kills a
Oh
baby
yeah.
in the background at one point. Like this movie does not pull its punches, and it still winds up like it feels like a
Mhm.
cozy Christmas movie. Like again, I love watching this at Christmas.
Oh
I watch it
yeah.
during the year too because it's just a good horror
Mhm.
movie and
Yeah.
puts me in a good mood.
Yeah, it's a comfort film.
Yeah. I'm so glad I discovered this, and again, cannot believe I'm getting to see it on the big screen in a
Oh yeah.
tiny bit less than a week from now.
I bet that's gonna be so much fun.
Like, how lucky am I? Like, what the fuck? This movie did not hardly play anywhere.
Yeah. I remember wanting to see it in theaters when it first came out, but it never played near me. I think I feel like there's a lot of smaller films that it would be it's so cool to see them in theaters, but sadly because they get such small showings of or set numbers of theaters that they show in, most people don't end up getting to see them in theaters. Uh
Yeah, there's a theater about 40 minutes away from me that it's like an art theater, so it will get some of the stuff that's more like limited release. So
mhm.
that's pretty lucky. But yeah, this movie, like, I can't remember exactly what it made because it was quite a while back, like almost a year ago when we did our episode on it.
Mhm.
But it made like, I don't even remember if it made $1 million. Like, it was in such
Uh,
limited release and mostly like over in the UK, and you can't find a budget for the movie. Like, it was tiny. So the fact that it's going to be playing in Indianapolis, uh, basically in December 2023, 7 years after this comes out, is just, you know, there's good in the world.
yeah. Oh yeah. Um, that's it. There was a film that recently came out that I ended up watching at home. I wish I would could have watched it in a theater, because it was so much fun. Have you ever heard of this? It's an indie horror film, or horror comedy. Really a lot more comedy than horror. It's called Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls. It is so much
Shockingly, I
fun.
have not ever even heard of this. You are dropping
Yeah.
completely new information into my
I
brain.
I feel like you would enjoy it. It is so much fun. It's about this like nerdy guy who he worships it's a demon, and he ended up getting ended up getting an offer to join I think three or four other worshippers of this demon at a mansion, and they have to basically decide whether they truly want to be evil, or if they want, or if um they don't like what's going on at the mansion basically. And that's probably the best way I could actually describe it without out spoiling things, but it is so funny. I immediately upon watching it, I wrote out a tweet say to the creator of the film, being like, um who did you have get inside my mind, because this film feels like it was made specifically for me and my taste.
Isn't that wonderful when you find a movie that just feels like it was made
Yeah.
exactly for you? It
And
doesn't happen like super, super often, but when it does, it's just like, thanks,
oh yeah.
universe.
And it brought me a lot of joy because the creative film, he actually he retweeted that tweet that I put out. I was like, yeah, that's cool. It was yeah, that's a film that I would highly recommend you checking out, because I feel like you would probably enjoy that just like me.
Uh, I'm a little stoned, so I've already forgotten the title, but please DM that to me so
I
I
will.
can check
I
this out
will.
because
Yeah.
so far you've been pretty spot on things you've recommended.
Yeah, I like. To be honest, this is a film that I probably at some point I will try and do a review of it because I want to be able to talk about this with someone who's seen it. Um, I I'm honestly kind of thinking about trying to see if trying to send like another tweet out to out at the creator and be like, hey, can I get you to come on my podcast? Ask because I feel like I would be a really fun for this guy to be like the first ever like um movie person I actually interview.
Dude, I love being able to tell somebody how much I loved their movie. Uh, face to face, it's a great. So I would say 100% reach out. You miss
Yeah,
100% of the shots you don't take.
yeah.
So
I'm like part of me is wondering whether I should do it now or do it after I actually make a review of the film on the podcast. So I'm like not sure what I should do there.
that is entirely up to you.
I'm just like I'm not sure which would be better. Like I feel like I'm like part of me is like I want to do this right now, but the other part of me is like it would be weird to interview someone about it if I'm it not having reviewed it. And I'm probably not going to be reviewing it at
I
least
feel like
till
I've done
January.
both things, but also people are busy sometimes. So go
Mm,
ahead and reach out now and be like, hey,
yeah,
could we talk about this in January? You
uh,
know?
okay. And that's actually another thing that I would love if you want to come on in January to review the film with me. I probably wouldn't have you on for the interview with the creator,
Yes, do
uh,
that by
but
yourself.
to actually review the film, I would love to have you on because I think you would be a someone who would have a lot of fun talking about it with me. Because this film it's wacky as hell in the best way.
I will have to look this up.
Mm-hmm. I'll definitely send you a
But
DM
I
with
do, even if I did hate it, I
the
would just come talk about it because I like talking about movies
yeah
with you. And
yeah
but if I do
oh
hate
yeah.
it, I'm sorry in advance because I will
It's
be
all
very
right. It's
honest.
all right. Yeah. So, what got me actually interested in this film was I started seeing pop up on TikTok the guy created it as like marketing for the film um clips where he inserted himself into popular podcast as the main character from the film. And it was so funny. Um, since this is this character is a demon worshiper, or one of them that he digitally inserted the character in with like green screen was this Christian podcast, and like the whole video was just him being like, I'm uncomfortable being here. You know that my film is about me worshiping a demon.
So hit me with the title of this one more time.
Onyx, the Fortuitous, and the Talisman of Souls. The other like the other podcast clip that's all of like him inserting himself into a podcast. I think it was him insert if I remember right, it was him inserting himself into a clip from the Joe Rogan podcast, and it's just this guy knows how to do funny marketing, like apparently the guy has been doing this character on YouTube for many years beforehand, and um but I only just found out about it as he was marketing his film. I kind of want to now go back and like watch what he's done on YouTube before, or it's surprising to me to see like to actually find out about a film that was based on a YouTuber or organically, and it also obviously that's a good film since a lot of YouTuber
Hey,
films
it's
are
got
not
Barbara
good.
Crampton and Ralph Ineson in it and Jeffrey Combs. Oh my God, this is yes, I do need to watch this. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. It. and it also has a
And for those listening, it's available on Hoopla if you have a library card.
oh, it also has a green haired demon lady, which
So
I very
fun.
much enjoy. uh, um, it's I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about for the apocalypse. So let's end off this episode. Is there any final things you'd like to say before I end this off?
I mean, go watch Anna and the Apocalypse if you're listening to
Oh
this
yeah,
and haven't
yeah,
happened to see
yeah,
it. Go
absolutely.
watch it. Tell your friends to watch it.
Yeah,
Buy it. Give them their dues because it's great. It's a Christmas classic. You'll want to watch it every year. Uh,
yes.
it's great stuff. And if you want to
Uh,
hear more content on it, I feel like our episode on it last year was
yeah, definitely check out the
pretty decent length. We did it with Sean from Review It Yourself, I
yeah,
believe.
definitely check out their episode of on the Men Who Like Movies podcast. As for this, is I'll definitely have to check out like that episode out myself too. Um, do you want to make me say something announcer voice?
Oh fuck, I always forget you do this.
Hey, you don't have to do it if you don't want
I'm stoned. I'm on the spot. I
to.
will decline this time because
That's
I
all
was
right.
not
That's all
prepared.
right. That's all right. You. Uh, hey, we had a pretty fun episode anyway, without out having some ridiculous thing. Yeah, last episode last episode of my podcast, I also didn't do it. Do it for that as we had already gone through and did a lot of funny stuff. And it was my anniversary episode, and we did um a actual playthrough of a D&D as role playing one shot
Ooh, fun.
with
Also, happy
super.
anniversary.
Thank you. It was called Mask, and it was like basically D&D with superheroes. And it was a hilarious time. So like at the end of the day, it was like, we don't need to try to figure outside the same announcer voice. So I didn't even offer it because at that point I was like, we had enough of ridiculousness. Uh,
There's never
well,
enough ridiculousness.
well, thank you, Clayton, for coming on. Joining me for this. I'm really glad that you love this film just like I do.
Yeah, I
Uh,
fucking love this movie.
yeah, and I'm glad they're always willing to come on and talk to me about films because you're so much fun to talk to.
Oh, thank you. I like you too.
So thank you everyone for listening. If you like this game analysis, please give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or a 5-star rating on Spotify. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this film, so please let me know. And if you'd like to listen to more from me, please subscribe. Many more game analysis from me coming, so keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Smash Ray John, signing off.